Have you ever complained about traffic, pollution, or crime in your city? Well, there are places where urban life is nothing short of a living nightmare. Cities so chaotic, overcrowded, and dangerous that surviving in them is a daily challenge. Today, we will take you on a journey through the 10 worst urban hellholes on the planet. Places where infrastructure is collapsing, crime is rampant, and the environment is being destroyed. Stay until the end, because the number one city is truly unbelievable. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more shocking content like this. Let's begin. Jakarta, Indonesia, the sinking city. Imagine living in a city that is literally disappearing. Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, is sinking about 25 centimeters, 10 inches per year, and parts of it could be underwater by 2050. As if that weren't bad enough, Jakarta also faces constant floods, unbearable traffic, and suffocating air pollution. The situation is so dire that the government is already planning to move the capital elsewhere, as Jakarta may become unlivable in just a few decades. Lagos, Nigeria, absolute overcrowding chaos. With over 20 million inhabitants and no urban planning, Lagos is a true urban jungle. The traffic is nightmarish, sanitation is nearly non-existent, and millions of people lack access to clean water. To make matters worse, the city suffers from sky-high crime rates, including kidnappings and violent robberies. Living in Lagos means facing a daily battle for survival. Dhaka, Bangladesh, the suffocating city. Dhaka is one of the most densely populated places on Earth, with over 23,000 people per square kilometer. This overcrowding creates an unprecedented urban mess. The traffic is unbearable, the air is toxic, and the rivers are filled with trash and sewage. The city is also home to thousands of garment workers enduring inhumane conditions, with low wages and a constant risk of factory collapses. If you have claustrophobia, Dhaka is definitely not for you. Port-au-Prince, Haiti, chaos after disaster. Haiti was already one of the poorest countries in the world, but after the devastating 2010 earthquake, Port-au-Prince became an urban nightmare. With no basic infrastructure, little access to water, electricity, or sanitation, the city has become a symbol of neglect and misery. Additionally, high crime rates and political instability make life even more difficult for Haitians. Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, a portrait of extreme inequality. With nearly 17 million people, Kinshasa is growing fast, but its infrastructure is collapsing. The result? Millions live in neighborhoods with no clean water, no sewage system, and no electricity. Meanwhile, a small elite enjoys luxury, while the majority struggles with extreme poverty. To make things worse, the city also suffers from armed groups and out-of-control violence. New Delhi, India, the city of toxic fog. Have you ever imagined living in a city where breathing can be dangerous? New Delhi frequently records some of the worst pollution levels in the world. The air is so contaminated that residents often feel their eyes burning and throats scratching just by stepping outside. As if that weren't enough, the city also deals with insane traffic, lack of basic sanitation, and extreme social inequality. Caracas, Venezuela, the city of fear. Unfortunately, Caracas has become one of the most violent cities on Earth. Venezuela's economic collapse has thrown the city into chaos, with hyperinflation and severe shortages of basic goods. People live in constant fear, as murder and kidnappings are common. On top of that, frequent blackouts and a lack of medicine make survival in Caracas a daily struggle. Sao Paulo, Brazil, the giant of chaos. Sao Paulo is one of the largest metropolises in the world, with both the best and worst of urban life. The traffic is unbearable, public transport is always packed, and social inequality is extreme. Massive favelas contrast with luxurious neighborhoods, creating a clear social divide. Pollution in the air and rivers makes life even harder, turning Sao Paulo into one of the most difficult cities to live in Brazil. Los Angeles, USA, the city without a home. Despite being one of the richest cities in the world, Los Angeles faces a severe housing crisis. Thousands of homeless people live in makeshift tents scattered across the city. The traffic is a nightmare, and the high cost of living makes things even worse. On top of that, LA also struggles with recurring wildfires and serious environmental problems. Mogadishu, Somalia, the lawless city. If there is a true urban hell on earth, it is Mogadishu. The city has been at war for decades, plagued by factional conflicts and terrorist attacks. With a completely destroyed infrastructure, lack of sanitation, and extreme hunger, Mogadishu's residents face unimaginable challenges. Surviving in this